Hello and welcome back to the IOSportscast. We are here for the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix podcast. Ollie is back.
Yo, what's up?
A lot has happened this weekend.
Yeah, it has.
We've had missile strikes, we've had crashes, we've had safety cars, we've had good battles.
Yeah.
We're going to start on Friday. The missile attack, was that Friday? No, that was Friday. Friday, because then the Friday night into Saturday was the drivers discussing on it.
Yes.
FP2 got delayed by 15 minutes.
Yes, it did, yeah.
The race did go ahead, otherwise this would be a very short podcast. The race has gone ahead, but there was a lot of discussions going on between the drivers. I don't think we're ever going to get to the bottom of what was said in those discussions.
I want to know. I think we should have a moment and just leak it on.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to know, but...
Pretty sure we'll find out. Netflix will probably in there somewhere.
Yeah, the issue is, the only way we're going to find out is we're going to get it from, like, people's side of their story.
George or something like that.
Yeah, which is fine, but we kind of just need it.
I want it to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. We kind of need, like, I don't know. There's so much misinformation going around on social media after it. Of, like, this was said.
Yeah.
I have no idea what was actually going on. But we did end up racing on Saturday, qualifying on Saturday. The big stories of that were, Lewis.
Yeah, Lulu.
Lewis in Q1 out, which is really something when you consider Sonoda didn't qualify because he had an issue.
Yeah.
Latifi crashed.
Yeah.
So only three actual...
And Mick crashed was in Q2.
Later on, yeah.
Yeah.
So actually only 3 cars got knocked out of Q1 properly. Lewis being one of them. Just didn't look like he could drive it. It just, I don't know. He just switched off. He just didn't have a lap put together. First time since I think 2017.
Brazil.
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah. Then Q2, Mick had his accident. It was about 5 minutes before the end.
Big crash as well.
Big crash. Very glad that he
is. Glad he's alright.
reported okay.
35 Gs it was, the impact of that crash, which, when you think of it,
I mean,
round that circuit, they're all concrete walls. You don't have any like armcore barriers or tyre barriers. So
not in that section.
Not in that section. He was probably going around that corner about, I'd say, 150 plus. Sudden impact against the wall.
Yeah.
35 G, and then carried on going for another 2 corners.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably a good thing that it was like 2 shunts rather than...
Well, when he hit it, it's like, didn't hit it like full on?
Yeah.
Side underneath, so he like sliced.
Grazed and bounced across.
Yeah.
Whereas if you think, like last year, he just ploughed into the wall.
Into the armcore, yeah.
Without, that pretty much was full on.
Mick and Saudi Arabia just don't get along.
Yeah, not a good mix. But because of that, he didn't race today.
As a precaution.
Yeah, I think
there's 2 things. He was fine. Haas said he's fine and all that, but it's because of the spending cap thing.
I think it's partly spending cap. I'm sure a little bit of it is he crashed there last year a couple of times. He's crashed here already, and it was a big shunt.
Yeah.
Just take a breather.
Yeah, come back from.
It's the start of the season. Let's just not risk it.
Yeah.
Which is I'm sure it's a shame for him. If he's anything like the rest of his family in racing, he'll be itching to have been driving today.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah, that would have been a massive rebuild job for the team as well. But
yep.
Anyway, so we lined up. We were thinking we were going to line up with 19 cars on the grid. Everyone shuffled forward, with Mick Schumacher withdrawing. But then we got another little man just not deciding to start the race. I say that like he chose not to.
Yeah.
His car chose not to.
Yeah, his car went no worky today.
No worky all weekend really because he didn't qualify.
Yeah.
Didn't qualify, didn't race. I feel sorry for Yuki.
It was on his parade lap as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To the grid.
He's done what? This is what his 23rd race. 24th.
24th.
And he's already had 2 non-starters.
Yeah.
That's I mean, you don't see DNSs that often.
You never used to see it. It used to be like in the 90s and 2000s they were popular.
Back in the day.
But like now you don't really see
Yeah.
it. And he's had 2, hasn't he?
Yeah, real shame for him. So I mean, 18 cars went racing.
Yep.
And I think the thing we can take away from this race is it really is Red Bull and Ferrari up front.
Yeah, and then everyone else.
And then best of the rest.
Yeah. For the time being.
Yeah. What I really can't say now though is who's actually where at the back. So yeah, you got Red Bull and Ferrari up front, and then really you've got Mercedes as probably the third team
for now.
You know, but then it's sort of split. Like the Alpines are doing reasonably well. Are they going to be the fourth team?
Yeah.
Bottas is driving the absolute nuts of
Haas
that car.
They're doing well.
Matt K-Mag is driving the Haas really well, but arguably both of their teammates are not. The AlphaTauri has just conked in half.
Two races. Both AlphaTauris have either not worked.
Yeah. And then you're looking at, okay, so it's then going to be Williams and Aston Martin and McLaren. Like the McLaren looked better this time round. Definitely on Lando's car.
Yeah, Lando's, yeah.
I mean, even so, Danny was still in the mix this time. He wasn't
struggling
to
at
stay
the back.
Yeah. But the Aston Martins still, I guess, are at the back.
Yeah.
I'm looking, they finished 12th and 13th, but only 14 cars
finished. Yeah, exactly, which we'll get onto in a bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, say 14 cars finished. 14 cars are classified because Albon didn't finish.
Yeah, he had that incident.
Which, I mean, for the start of it's still the start of the season, new set of regulations, you expect a lot of cars not to finish.
Yeah.
For the first few races, we expect that.
We had what?
3 the first time
3 in Bahrain.
Yeah.
And we've had 6.
Yeah, well, 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 5 that started the race. Yeah.
So that's 8 cars that haven't finished in the first 2 races.
Yeah, which you kind of expect that.
Yeah.
The weird thing is just how they're dropping out.
Yeah, I know.
It's like one goes, right, we're all gonna quit now.
Yeah.
You know
it's like they're communicating to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it is.
I mean, look at the Red Bulls last week.
Yeah.
And the AlphaTauri. The AlphaTauri went, and then the Red Bull started struggling. Then Max went, and Checo went. And today, 3 cars on 1 lap, I just was like, nah, we out working.
Yeah, Alonso lap 35, Ricciardo lap 35, Bottas lap 36. And I think Bottas only got 36 because he crossed the line in the pit lane. Yeah. Right. Before we dig into the juicy battles, we're going to talk predictions. And I'm definitely going to remember to do it this week. We posted them out on the socials. Our qualifying predictions and our race predictions we did on Saturday before qualifying had happened.
Let's just say one of us did better than the other person.
Yeah. Your qualifying predictions, Ollie, were Leclerc P1. That's reasonable.
Reasonable, yeah.
Verstappen P2.
Yeah.
Lewis P3. I think at that point I knew I'd won this.
Yeah, after Q1, yeah.
My predictions were a bit closer. I had Verstappen P1, Leclerc P2, Perez P3.
Yeah.
So at least I had Perez up there.
Yeah,
I did not expect pole for Perez.
No.
I mean, fair play. I was actually really happy to see Perez up there.
Yeah.
First pole position, new record.
First Mexican to get pole as well.
New record for the longest career up to the first pole position.
Like 290 races or something like that.
219 maybe.
That's something like that.
Yeah, not 290.
I know it's in the 200s.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take half a point.
Yeah, you can do that
for that. Race predictions. You had Leclerc P1, so close.
Yeah.
Lewis P2, which after quali would have been an epic race.
I know if it had done it, it'd be unbelievable.
And you had Sainz P3. So
I got one of them.
You got Sainz P3 correct. Yeah.
Yes.
I had Leclerc P1 as well.
Yeah.
I had Verstappen P2.
Yeah.
And I had Sainz P3.
Oh.
If Leclerc had nicked Verstappen on that final
lap, had the podium. You had the full podium, just not in the right order.
So they're the predictions that we put out. I'm taking the point on that.
Yeah, you can.
the fantasy predictions that I've done. Come on, Team Braun Cocktail. I actually put a different prediction because I did these literally as soon as they opened, like after Bahrain.
Oh, right, okay.
I had Verstappen P1, correct.
Yeah.
Leclerc P2.
Oh, go on.
Correct. Checo P3.
Oh.
Checo.
Where did you have Sainz? Did you not choose Sainz?
Didn't put Sainz on the podium.
Oh, no way.
Pole position, I put Max. Right team,
wrong. Yeah, right team, wrong driver.
Fastest lap, I put Checo. Just completely wrong.
Charles won it, I think.
Safety cars, I said 2 safety cars. There were 2 safety cars.
Was there?
Yes.
There's only 3.
The bonus of how many cars
Do
were
VSCs count as safety cars or not?
I don't know. They must do. We only had one.
So we only had one full safety car?
Yeah. That secondary one where the pit lane was closed must have counted as a.
It was a VSC, not that.
Yeah. Oh well, I've got the points for it.
Fair enough.
The bonus question: how many cars will retire? Now I almost got this bang on last week. I was 1 out. I said between 0 and 3.
For last week?
For this week.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought 4 to 6 was too many.
Should have gone with 4 or 6, mate. You'd have got extra points.
Yeah. But I went 4 last time. It was just too.
Yeah.
Just not right. So that stick me over. But all 3 of my drivers scored me double points, so can't complain. Sainz is one of my drivers, so I'll take that.
Fair.
However, I'd also have AlphaTauri and Haas as 2 of my teams, and they only drove 1 car each, so
yeah,
I was let down a little bit there.
Yeah.
Anyway, qualifying. So we've discussed very briefly Lewis going out. We've discussed very briefly Mick's accident.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Q3. Because for a while, it looked like Sainz was going to get it. And then Charles went faster.
Oh.
And you're like, Ferrari got it. Right.
It's a 1-2 for Ferrari.
And then Checo, out of nowhere by 25 thousandths of a second.
Jesus, that's close.
Took it away from Leclerc. Oof. And I was like, that's a wonderful lap, well done. But crap, that's then Red Bull 1-2, Ferrari 3-4.
Wow, was Max second at this point?
No, but Max was on a lap.
Oh, right, okay.
And he didn't do anything. He just didn't do anything. He started 4th. I don't know what happened.
Didn't hit the wall, did he?
It's the first time, I think, that like legitimately Perez beat Max in quality.
Yeah.
I think the other time Max crashed or
binned it or had to slow down or whatever, always had traffic.
Yeah, there's some other circumstance. I mean, technically if you bin it, I guess it's kind of the driver, but
yeah,
like, in terms of outright, they both completed a lap.
Yeah, and it was Perez a little
Probably,
bit
yeah.
better.
Yeah. For a while, Russell was P4
Oof.
in the early rounds. We were like, go on, George.
Go on, George.
The Mercs have improved. This is, you drove well. But Esteban Ocon managed to pip him to P5. A wonderful lap. 43 thousandths of a second in it.
Oh, Jesus.
That is a really close.
That's close.
So yeah, Ocon in P5 did a 29.0.
Yeah.
Gasly in P9 did a 29.2.
Ooh.
1.9 tenths between them. And K-Mag P10 getting into Q3 again.
Yeah.
Another solid bit of qualifying. He must be absolutely knackered. To be called in 11 days before the season.
Not had time to prepare.
Not for F1 training.
Yeah.
Yeah. To then do some pre-season testing, and then 2 back-to-back weekends of racing.
Yeah, well, it'll be 3, and it'll be when we get to Australia. Isn't it a triple header?
No.
Is it not?
No, we got a fortnight off. A week off and then
a week off.
The 8th till the 10th is Australia.
But he had strapping on his neck, didn't he?
Yeah, we saw that pre-race. He just
had that special.
He must have been
that special tape.
Special tape, yeah.
And Hulkenberg as well.
Hulkenberg too, but I guess
because he's had less time.
He has, but at the same time, he is a reserve driver. he arguably should be still training as if he's going to drive in Formula 1.
Yeah, he needs to be match fit.
Yeah. Like sharpness, you can only get in the car, but in terms of fitness,
you need to be match fit.
Whereas Magnussen was not racing and not expecting to be racing in F1 at all.
Yeah.
So he'd be doing completely different training for whatever series he was in.
He might have been.
Yeah.
Riding a bike. I was going to say mowing his lawn.
Oh, can you?
Sit on lawnmower.
Oh,
this is faster than the 2021 has.
So slow for them though. So. Also in quali, just very quickly want to shout out the McLarens. They were P11 and P12. Ricciardo got a penalty for obstructing.
Impeding Ocon, wasn't it?
Yes, during Q2, so he got a 3-place grid penalty. So he started 14th. I think that's about it for qualifying. Yeah, so he started with 18 in the race. It was a good getaway from Perez, and I think until we had the safety car, there was not a single moment that I thought Perez has lost this.
Yeah.
He had the pace. It was a smart drive. Charles with the pits. Let's talk the pit stop, because that was either a very good play from Charles to be like, let's make them pit early.
Yeah.
Or there was an actual opposite call. I don't know whether, if Perez had stayed out, do you think Leclerc would have actually pitted? Or do you think he actually dummied him?
I don't know. I think they pulled a bluff.
You think they bluffed it? You don't think he'd have come in?
No.
Wow. I think there might have been an actual genuine call to go opposite.
If it was, it'd have been a late call.
I mean, of course, yeah, but I think the wording of the call to
probably being in Italian.
No. It was in English. It was box to overtake or something like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that makes you think that they're going for the undercut, when actually I think that could be just code for box opposite.
Yeah.
Make the chance happen. But Perez pitted, and at this point, it was not even a third of the way into the race, something like lap 14, something like that. And it looked like he could be onto a 2-stop. Obviously went into the harder tyre, and it didn't look like it was that bad a call. Charles could just come in a couple of laps and we'll just see how it plays out. It became an incredibly bad call because Latifi binned it.
Yeah.
Latifi in the Middle East, not really going together. Put it into the wall.
We thought there was going to be a red flag.
I did think there was going to be a red flag. Yeah, at the very minimum, full safety car. But I just thought a red flag is probably what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We had the safety car, and that meant that a lot of drivers came in and did their pit stops. It was flipping hectic. Absolutely hectic. But Lewis Hamilton stayed out. I mean, it makes sense. He was on the hard tyre from the start with Kevin Magnussen. I kind of wondered whether they would make the call and just try and do something.
Yeah.
I don't know what they could have done.
No.
But,
couldn't really have done much, could they? That's the thing.
No. So it makes sense then to leave Lewis out if they can't do anything. Take him to what? Late 30s.
Yeah.
And then come in for your softer tyre, opposite to everyone else.
However,
he couldn't do that. He got the call very late, after he'd gone past the pit entry to box, because of everybody deciding to quit.
No, we don't take part no more.
We don't take part no more. Because we saw Alonso going slowly after a brilliant set of battling early on.
Mate, him and Ocon.
I'm sure that the Alpine team are like bricking it, seeing those two go after each other.
Yeah.
Otmar knows that Ocon doesn't like losing to his teammate.
Yeah.
He will fight it.
I mean, being past when he's fought with his teammates in the past have come together.
Yeah, in pink cars.
In pink cars. Well, luckily,
Yeah.
he's not driving a pink car, fully pink car.
Well,
He's still got bits of pink
I mean,
in
it was
it.
today.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, he's still got
Yeah.
bits of pink in it.
But they didn't make any major contact. I don't know if there was any little.
There might have been
things.
little teeny tiny bits.
But
There was one point where they nearly came together.
when Alonso got past Ocon and then shut the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was fair enough, I guess. Sort of a stop trying to overtake me, back off. But as soon as Ocon did back off, because the team call did come in to hold position, he immediately didn't hold position and
then
gave
he
it up to Bottas.
Yeah, no, exactly. He got overtaken by Bottas.
Got overtaken. It was. I mean, in the end, it all kind of worked out. But yeah, this whole second set of safety cars or virtual safety cars was we couldn't suddenly cut to Alonso going very slowly after all these great battles. Just
No power.
No power, and sure enough, yeah, on his screen, engine kill.
Oh.
And he tried.
Yeah.
He was for a while just tootling around 70 miles an hour. Just.
I thought he was going to make it.
I thought he was going to make it.
But it is a long track.
Second longest track on the calendar.
After Spa.
Yeah. So it is a long track. It's a dangerous track to be doing 70 on when everyone else is doing 170 in blind corners.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, but he got back onto the final straight. But before that, the camera cuts to Daniel Ricciardo conking out.
Literally, I'd say about 50 metres from the pit end, the actual pit entry, the white line.
Danny Ricciardo could have thrown his steering wheel into the pit lane from where he was.
Yeah. All he had to do was carry on and try to rock back and forward in his cockpit, like, come on,
sure he would have been.
go!
But all of that didn't make any difference because Bottas had come in, and we were like,
oh, it's just a normal
pit stop. Yes, they've cut to it because of all this going on. It makes sense if there's suddenly going to be safety cars, potentially pit lane closed because of where Ricciardo is.
Yeah.
We immediately called it, pit lane's going to be shut.
Yeah.
So Bottas has come in at the right time, and that's why they've cut to it.
And to be fair, some people did come in though.
Well, we started having a back and forth of what could have gone on with Ricciardo and Alonso, and what will happen. That we forgot about Bottas and his pit stop, and sure enough, the jacks went up, and the next thing we see is him getting toodled back into his garage.
Getting turned, and I was like, oh, okay.
We've not heard anything.
No, exactly.
Nothing.
There was no team radio, neither to
Nope.
say we have to retire the car.
No team radio, no footage of him going slowly. I don't know what's going on with his car.
No.
I assume that they've had obviously some issue that they decided is terminal. It's not just like they've overheated or something.
Yeah, but they normally put out a message to say we need to retire the car.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
So I don't know. And then we went back to the Daniel Ricciardo getting pushed through the pit lane entry. It was then shut, which is when we heard Lewis's call from Bono.
Yeah.
Saying come in because he just missed it, and by the time he got back round, obviously it reduced speed. The pit lane had shut, which pushed Lewis to what, lap 41 was it?
Yeah, that 41, 42.
Something like that, with a wonderful stop onto mediums of 3.9 seconds.
Oh, that's
they weren't pushing it, were they?
No, not really. slow pit stops.
I mean, they had nothing to lose. They weren't going to gain that many places.
I thought they'd put softs on personally.
I thought they would have put softs on. Even for 9 laps, the softs can last. And I'm like, the gap he's going into, if they do a quick stop, he's out in front of Albon.
Yeah.
If they do a slow stop, he's behind. But he's probably going to get past them either way.
Yeah.
Because Albon and Magnussen, he's probably going to get past them, and he did.
Yeah.
He got past Albon. Magnussen was making his own toodles through. If they do a quick stop, he's ahead of that battle, but potentially under threat because he's got cold tyres.
Yeah.
If he's got softs on though, he can rag them about, and this track is difficult to overtake on unless you've got the DRS.
Yeah.
It's worth the punt.
Yeah, you
to try and make your
that
car wide.
or get fastest lap and take a point off.
I mean, yeah, if your tyres don't work, I mean, you should do 9 laps. It should be able to do 9 laps. If it can't, you can make your car nice and wide. Okay, you're going to lose it on the DRS, but, you weren't going to lose that many places. You had a big enough gap behind those two to just dawdle around.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't take the risk, but they didn't. And actually, looking at the timings, Magnussen finished P9 and only finished 1.4 seconds behind Gasly.
Ooh.
So had they done a quick stop, got in front of Albon on the exit,
Yeah.
I mean, Lewis could have finished P8 there.
Mm.
Instead, he finished P10, 1 point. Is that a good thing? Given where he started, points he would have taken.
I reckon if he'd have come in earlier,
But yeah,
he'd have probably got higher.
yes. I think, I mean, obviously we're going to look at this with hindsight of it's perfect, but I think there was 2 or 3 laps before it all kicked off where he could have come in, and he didn't.
Yeah.
But that's life. At the end of the race, then we saw yellow flags, sector 3. I think
1, wasn't it?
It could have been sector 1.
Was it for Albon and Stroll?
I think it was sector 3 initially. When Stroll and Albon had their thing, but
It was turn 1.
Was it turn 1?
Yeah.
Okay. We just saw Stroll dropping down. Like, oh,
Hey, what's happened here?
something's happened.
Yeah.
Potential another is the safety car. And then we see Albon. Oh, I'm pulling over, front right tyre hanging on by a thread.
And no wing.
No, yeah, damaged wing. Obviously something's happened. Put 2 and 2 together, and then the cameras showed it. And
Yeah.
so I'm going to ask you the question then. Who's at fault?
I think it's 50-50.
Okay.
Because obviously they knew they were battling each other.
Yes.
Stroll could have pulled to the right a bit to give Albon more space, but obviously Albon was later on the brakes to try and get round him.
Yeah.
But then Stroll obviously was ahead in the corner, so racing incident for me. I don't think he intentionally took him out or crashed into him.
Mm-hmm.
But Stroll could have given him a bit more space.
So I'm hearing then actually it's more 60-40, slightly more Stroll's fault.
Yeah, slightly more Stroll's fault.
And I would kind of agree. Stroll immediately on the radio was like, this guy dive bombing. He didn't dive
not a dive bomb, because if it dive bomb when he got past you.
Well, I mean, yes and no.
Yeah.
But he didn't come from a long way back. He
No.
was there.
Yeah.
Stroll's just turned in, expecting Albon to just immediately stop
Slam on and
or go off track. Like
not only that, but Albon couldn't really go anywhere because he was on the inside.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Where's Albon going to go? He's going to either go off track in the inside of a chicane where there's a wall,
Yeah.
or into Stroll.
You. Yeah.
Where else is he going to go? Like, if Stroll gives a bit more space, it's a chicane.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got the inside line straight away.
Yeah, exactly. He might lose it on turn 1, but then for the second, he's got the inside.
That's what I mean. I don't quite know what Stroll was thinking. Maybe he was just wanting to get an overtake done or stop Albon overtaking him because they're just having a bad start to the season.
Yeah.
Bit of frustration. I've no idea.
Yeah.
I've no idea. But anyway, let's move on to what I think is going to become the plot of the season. Max Verstappen
versus
Charles Leclerc.
Charles.
We've got 2 incredibly talented drivers.
And 2 young drivers, don't forget.
Yeah.
Still young.
That have raced together since karts.
Yeah. Have a rivalry since karts.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's nasty. I think there's a lot of respect there. I think it has the potential
to be nasty.
To be very nasty. But right now, I think it's still
simmering.
I think this isn't right now.
Do you think it'll be as bad as Max Lewis last year?
I was going to say, right now I think it's Lewis and Nico when Lewis moved to Mercedes, and they were like, we've raced each other since karts. We're best, they were pretty good friends.
Yeah.
There a lot of respect there, and they knew about each other. They'd had their moments as well.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't believe we're racing each other. Very quickly, that went south. That was great for the first couple of seasons, until things got until you knew that actually it was Mercedes dominant.
Yeah.
If Red Bull and Ferrari are dominant, and it's those two fighting it, I'm saying Miami, new track, no one's driven it. America loves their drama.
Yeah. Netflix love their drama as well.
That I think is where things are gonna go.
Scenes be good. I reckon if there's an incident between them when is America next?
Fifth.
It's the fifth race of the season, isn't it?
So it's Australia and Imola, I think.
I reckon before we get to round 10, them two will come together at least twice. And I mean fully come together.
Wow.
Like Lewis and Max at Imola. Not Imola, Monza. When Max mounted Lewis. I think they'll.
So round 10 is, I think, Silverstone.
Yeah.
You think there's going to be two big incidents before Silverstone?
Between them, yeah.
Interesting.
Either one takes the other out, or they both take each other out.
I mean, it's possible.
And then they are just at war with each other.
It is very possible. I just like that this is settling into like genuinely two very talented drivers, and two second. I guess I won't say second drivers, but like they're proving their worth this time.
Yeah.
Like last year, Sainz did get the better of Charles.
Yeah.
Partly because Charles had some bad luck with his car, and did make a couple of mistakes. You remove those elements.
Yeah.
No, you can't write in car. Car stuff is just a variable. It'll have to run. The mistakes though you can get rid of, and if you do that, I think Charles has the upper hand.
Yeah.
And this season, so far,
He does.
he's driven two very, very good races. Knows his strategy, knows his tactic. Little bit unfortunate that he didn't get a chance to attack in lap 48, 49 with the Albon Stroll incident.
But you mentioned the other two, Perez and Sainz. I think they'll be there to pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
If them two come together.
I think I said this in the last podcast. I think it's going to be very close on both titles. I think both second drivers will play their part.
Yeah.
But if it comes down to it, and Ferrari think they've genuinely got a chance at winning the constructors,
they'll sacrifice the
right
drivers.
now they do, because that was a bad result for Red Bull first time out.
Yeah.
They'll sacrifice the drivers. I don't know whether you could tell Charles Leclerc, look, if you go to Charles Leclerc when he signed for Ferrari 2019, and you said 2022 you're going to be in a right battle, 3 years from now, give yourself some time in the car to get to know it. You're going to be in a car that could win the title, but your team are going to say, just bring on the points for the constructors.
He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that.
Nah. But I think that, I still think the constructors means more for Ferrari than the driver's title. Red Bull are very much flashy. They'll go for the driver's title.
Yeah. It
was interesting last season that discussion was had, and Toto was like, every team boss will go for the constructors because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
That's what keeps the team afloat. And then Christian was like, driver's title.
Yeah.
I was like, no way. Oh wait, they've gone for the driver's title. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. This could be
a good season.
This could be genuinely one of the best title fights we've had
since last year.
Well, last year's was just a bit messy. Like, there weren't actually that many races where Max and Lewis went toe to toe.
Oh, yeah.
It was one nick points because the other one wasn't there.
Yeah.
And the times they did get together, most of the time they crashed.
And it was Max that came off worse.
Well, you know what I mean, though. As a battle between those two last season, it wasn't a battle between those two.
No.
It was sort of just between the teams, and they happened to be the lead drivers.
Yeah.
You know, but you think back 10 years. Oh my days, 10 years ago. 2012, 4 drivers,
all in contention to win it.
And that was like they were properly battling for it.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of a season we've actually had a proper battle for it
with more than 2 drivers.
Arguably 2016 could have been it. it's 17 and 18. Yes, Seb was there, but
they faded away, didn't they?
yeah, exactly. So again, it wasn't like they had that many proper battles. They had chunks of time where each team had an advantage.
Yeah.
So it's nice to actually see this for once.
Yep.
Say for once.
For once.
We had a really good season last year.
Yeah.
All things.
Yeah.
You know,
and to be fair, the racing is a lot closer so far than the first two races.
They've been able to come back and follow if they've dropped out of DRS and stuff.
And DRS is powerful.
So far, so good.
I want to see it on a circuit where you can't really overtake though.
Yeah.
Monaco.
Imola's coming up.
Imola, yeah, but
I think that Imola will be the first chance to us really see what these cars are like.
Yeah.
Monaco, I think, is just always going to be Monaco. Because it's not like they weren't able to follow last time we were at Monaco.
Yeah.
They were able to follow because that's all you can do at Monaco.
It's just a procession.
You have to follow.
It's just a procession.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not enough, even if you're all gapped up. If you gap 5 seconds between each car, 20 cars, that's 100 seconds.
That's
a lap and a half at Monaco.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So you have to follow.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether Monaco will be a good option to see whether we can follow or not. And I mean, these cars are wide still. Who knows?
I'll have to find out when we get there.
Charles want to win that weekend.
Oh, 100%. His home race as well.
After throwing it away last time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
100%.
Right, let's quickly run through the standings. In the drivers, Charles Leclerc still leads the way, 45 points.
Oh, Charles.
Not bad. Carlos Sainz Jr. is second place, 33 points. Max, with this win, jumps to third, 25 points. And then we have the two Mercedes, George Russell P4, Lewis Hamilton P5, on 22 and 16 points. So in 2 races with Mercedes, Russell has scored about as many points as he scored for Williams.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he scored 16 last year, didn't he? Something like that.
Something like that.
And then he scored 3.
Points,
and he scored 3 at Mercedes in Sakhir.
Yeah.
That's 19. So he scored more in 2 races than he has his entire career.
Basically, yeah.
Pretty much. Esteban Ocon, P6, 14 points. Checo P7, 12 points. Magnussen P8, 12 points. I feel like let's just shift Perez up to the top 4 because we're expecting that. Really, we're saying Esteban is probably currently best of the rest right now.
Yeah.
We were putting Mercedes as P3 guaranteed pretty much right now.
Right. In the
Yeah.
In the drivers or constructors?
Well, right now, we're saying the Ferraris and the Red Bulls are fighting as the fastest.
Yeah.
And then it's definitely Mercedes behind them.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of everyone else.
Yeah.
Then currently it's Ocon who's going to be best of the rest then. Which is...
fair.
You'd take that. And it's not like it's been a fluky... Like, those Alpines have been solid.
Decent, yeah.
They've been pretty solid. So I think that's a good... They're going to fight for that 4th place.
100%.
Valtteri Bottas, P9, 8 points. And Lando Norris rounds out the top 10 with 6 points. Which was a good recovery drive. Fair play Lando after a horrendous Bahrain Grand Prix for McLaren.
Yeah.
Bringing back some points. And just been a solid drive. Yeah, I can't really...
Nearly got Ocon as well in the last lap.
I mean, he had him on the penultimate, didn't he? He was ahead and then Ocon,
Ocon
went back. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously McLaren have some idea what's going on with that car because they weren't at the back again.
No.
I'm hoping that as time goes on, they'll be back at the top.
Hope so.
But yeah. So, yeah, constructors. Ferrari currently P1, 78 points. Mercedes technically P2 right now with 38 points. Red Bull P3, 37 points. I expect that will be overtaken next time out at Australia. Alpine 4th, 16 points. Haas 5th with 12. Alfa Romeo 6th with 9. And Alfa Tauri P7 with 8. McLaren P8 with 6. And then Aston Martin and Williams at the back with no points.
0, the donut.
But Albon was running in the points.
Until he broke down. Well, not broke down, but
until he had his crash with
his
Stroll,
accident. His
Albon,
incident.
yeah, Albon was fighting for points.
Yeah.
I think that some of that was because of pit strategy, but
Yeah.
and the fact that we've lost a few cars, but he's fighting.
He is doing
He's
better than his
fighting.
team, mate.
I
Yeah, nah. I'll give Latifi a few more races, mate.
yeah.
I'm not genuine. I think if you don't perform,
You were gonna cut him really early. I remember last time
that's
out.
a time break, I think.
Yeah.
I'd give him till round 6.
Yeah, you weren't gonna give him the season. You were gonna make the decision early and then cut him at some break. Or something.
Yeah. I'd give him an ultimate.
Might you gonna tell him at Monaco?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sort your stuff out, otherwise you're off, pal.
Wow.
Albon can get in the points.
I mean, you can at least try and fight.
Fight for points.
Yeah. Right then, there was a little bit afterwards, after the race. A lot of people getting flagged for yellow flag.
Speeding under yellows.
Yes. So the Sainz, Perez, and K-Mag, I think, were the three.
Have we heard anything from that since? Or not?
That's what I'm just checking right now. I think. I don't know. The yellow wave flags is just like a
It was double wave yellows, wasn't it?
double waved yellows.
Which means you have to slow down or prepare to stop.
Yeah. In the last 2 laps. And now under investigation. So the wording of that suggests that actually there could be more drivers that end up getting flagged for it. But I've not seen anything yet. This could be a very late night, but we're not going to stay up and look for any reaction on that. I feel for the guys that are out in Saudi Arabia because it'd be pretty much midnight at the time we're recording this for them.
Yep.
No, that's my phone going off, but I did that.
Oh, well, I've just seen something on Instagram.
Oh.
Alex Albon has been given a 3-place grid penalty for the next Grand Prix and 2 penalty points for causing a collision.
Well, now then. I'm not happy with that. I mean, I understand why he might have got flagged for it, but there was not enough, in my opinion, there was not enough blame to be placed on either driver.
Yeah.
For them to be given a grid penalty. I think you could slap them both on the wrists and give them a reprimand each, maybe. Not a penalty point, just a slap on the wrist reprimand.
Yeah, just don't do it again.
Yeah, I don't think there was enough, 3 places and 2 penalty points. I don't see there being enough for either driver to get that. But hey,
my opinion, it was more Lance, but
I don't work for the FIA.
No.
Yeah. Next time out, Australia.
And we'll finally be able to see the new changes that have happened since
Yeah.
we last went there.
I'm really looking forward to seeing those changes.
I
Australia's a track that I like.
I like it as well.
It's not necessarily the best for racing, but there are a lot of sections that if someone takes a risk,
They can, especially with the new change. I reckon with the new changes, will be.
Yeah, I mean, if K-Mag's happy enough going around the outside at turn 4 in Jeddah, he's gonna look.
Yeah, he's
gonna have a look.
He's gonna go
in sector
somewhere.
1 for Australia.
Inside of turn 3.
Yeah, there's so many corners that they've now opened up or made wider,
Or got rid of.
or just completely changed the entire section of because it's now something like from turn 6 or 7
to 12
it's flat.
It's just flat in it.
Or near enough flat.
They've got rid of that 910 little 910 chicane.
Yeah, which was the worst part of the track.
Yeah.
I think the 11-12 chicane's still there, but it's just been slightly modified.
Yeah.
But even that it wasn't flat, but it was
quick.
Shift down.
Yeah.
Foot still on the gas.
Yeah. Not only that, I say they've widened most of the corners as well.
We've widened quite a few corners, yeah. I think there's a lot of potential for a couple of looks down the inside.
Oh yeah. If you get it right.
I'm still going to say it early though. This might come back to bite me. I still don't think Ricciardo will finish.
You don't think he'll finish his
There's
home Grand Prix?
something in Australia. He doesn't like finishing in Australia, does he? I don't know why.
Say that I'll win it now.
I mean, I hope so. Kind of, that would be sick. That would be fantastic if it turns out that McLaren have got everything sorted and they're now the fastest team.
You thought it was Ferrari and Red Bull. Mwahaha. Yeah, nah. That's bold. That's a bold statement. That.
It is, but look at his record. 2012 was his first Australian Grand Prix, P9.
Yeah.
So finished
in the points.
Finished low end of points.
2 points.
2013 retired. 2014 disqualified. 2015 finished 6th, but was in the Red Bull. Arguably should be fighting for the podium.
Yeah.
2016 did get 4th, so, but not quite there. 2017 retired. 2018 P4. Again, just not quite there. 2019 retired. 2020 we didn't go. 2021 we didn't go.
So he's never finished on the podium at his home race.
No.
The best he's done is 4th.
Yeah. He just that's a track, man, that he should be doing really well at.
He should. Realistically, he should know that track better than most drivers.
I mean,
because it's his home race.
Yes and no. It is definitely a track, and especially with the changes that now leave that sort of the honey badger dive bomb open as an opportunity. I don't know. There's just something about he just doesn't switch on for it. Like he's got P4 when he was in the Red Bull a couple of times, but he should be fighting for the
podium or win.
Yeah, I can't remember those races, so maybe he was fighting and just ended on the wrong side.
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
But hey ho. Really, all I'm hoping from McLaren is that they just put in a decent season now.
Yeah.
It's obvious there's a rebuilding job to go on. I don't think it was all just in the brakes. I think there's a fundamental downfall.
Well, they've got what, 2 weeks to sort their issues?
Yeah, we've got a week off, and then Australia, then a week off, and then Imola. So they've got a little bit of time over the next couple of races. Fingers crossed. Right.
Shall we do predictions for Down Under?
I'm going to give you a choice of 2 random drivers each race and 2 random teams, and I just want you to tell me who scores the most points.
Alright, fair enough.
Okay. So I'm going to have to make a note of this, so I remember to pick the right ones.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you Fernando Alonso and Valtteri Bottas.
So I have to pick who I think's going to finish higher?
Yeah.
Fernando.
Going with Fernando. For your team, I'm going to say who's going to finish higher, Aston Martin or Williams.
Oh, Jesus. Williams.
He's called Williams. Okay. Interesting. Wow. We'll see what happens with that. That's
alright. I'll do some for you.
okay.
Team.
Mm-hmm.
Alfa Romeo or Alfa Tauri.
Alpha versus Alpha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna back Valtteri Bottas and say Alfa Romeo.
Ooh. Okay, driver.
Yeah.
Magnussen or Bottas.
Oh, don't do me like that. I'm gonna back Bottas. I'm gonna back Bottas. I think K-Mag will still be up there, just maybe only fighting for 1 point, 2 points. Whereas Bottas has history in Australia.
Yeah.
Not that Magnussen doesn't. I mean, obviously got the podium.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's really hard to tell at this point in the season who has the edge.
Yeah, we're only 2 races in.
Yeah, but Bottas was right up there, pretty chill until he retired.
Until we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Still.
Until he called it a day.
Yeah, he must have thought, oh, I've left something I needed a toilet or something.
Man just really needed a loo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, well, let's see how those go. We will post our usual quality and race predictions on our social media. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's everything. So thank you very much for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with our Australian Grand Prix podcast. Until then, take care. Remember to follow us on our socials. I didn't forget.
Go on.
I didn't forget. I just couldn't segue into it. Now this is awkward. This is an awful segue. We are on Instagram at IOSportscast. Remember to follow us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, whatever you want to listen to. Just search for IOSportscast on there as well. Like and follow. Following is all the rage apparently.
Yeah. Oh, subscribe as well, obviously.
And on the
channel.
YouTubes.
On the YouTubes.
Again, search for IOSportscast. We've made this pretty simple. Just hit the big subscribe button. Like us on all the social media. Subscribe on the social media. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Goodbye.
See ya.